Hello everyone, Lucio from Epic Frame Films here, and this is the collection video for the year 2024. It is now the 9th of January 2025, so I've managed to track every figure I've bought, lost and customized everything in the last year, and I've got them here on my right, except for the ones that I don't have, so obviously. And I'm going to start the countdown randomly, not in any way, just the way I pick them up. So we're going to start with this. This is Tom from Tom and Jerry figure with his head in a bowl. I found him lying around in a restaurant that I ate. I had a good slice of pizza that day. His head spins sometimes. Yeah. And now on to actual figures. Let's see. The latest figure I've bought, actually, the last figure I bought in the year 2024, that means, is this Rouge the Bat figure from Jack Specific. Unmodified, but it's a decent figure. Stands quite well for a figure with heels. And yeah, solid job by Jax on this one. Let me just raise the camera a bit because apparently she doesn't fit. Yeah, there we go. I've bought a new tripod and I'm still figuring it out. So yeah, the footage might be a little bit slanted. That's because I'm recording with my phone, and I can't really put the phone. It actually doesn't matter. You guys don't care about that. Let's see. This is a big guy. This is Rhino. This is the new Rhino figure. If you remember, the last one only showed up in Superior Spider-Man, and it was pretty lanky. Wait, maybe lanky is not the right word, but it was certainly not good. It looked goofy and it didn't stand on its own. The articulation was practically bendy wire, which is not good. So I used the Alan figure that I had, and this is the new Rhino, and it's sturdy. I mean, you can hear the thump when it hits the table. I had to hot glue. Can't really see. I had to hot glue the head on, so it's not movable or anything, but the articulation is okay. I would have liked a little bit more, but this is fine for now. This is the new Vector. So I did away with the old Vector figure. Oh, that's better. That's much better. So I did away with the old Vector figure, who was also articulated using a mix of bendy wire and Legos. And this is the new one, made from an old Power Rangers mold. I don't remember who the body used to be. I think the old Batman, actually. So yeah, much better. New suit design. You will see this guy in Toil and War on Earth. This is filmed before the movie is released, and I'm going to release this before the movie is released because the movie, while I am working on it, it's going to take a bit more to be finished. But yeah, I'm really happy with this figure. The only problem I have is that the claws are stuck in there. So yeah, I'm going to have to CGI those out when he doesn't use them. But yeah, pretty happy with this Vector figure. Next up is Spider-Man 2099. Let me adjust the lighting again. There we go. Is that better? I think it might be. But yeah, this is made using the old Superior Spider-Man figure I had. So it's on the Superior Spider-Man body mold, which I found out recently it's not the same as the Pizza Spidey body mold. I confused them. But I'm really happy with this guy. Of course, he's not the movie counterpart with the crazy shoulders. He's more comic accurate in that matter. I've even given him the little spider on the back that he's got in Shattered Dimensions, and I just noticed this broke off. And it's not in the figure pile. That's a bummer. I'm going to have to fix that. But yeah, what I'm most proud of is the... Come on, focus. Focus. Camera. Camera. Yeah, it won't focus for some reason. But it's metallic enough. I am having so much trouble with the camera today. It's unbelievable. Okay, next up, another custom Spider-Verse figure. This time it's Spider-Punk. Now, this is not the Marvel Legends Spider-Punk, although I still want that. Either that or the SH Figures one. This is a basic figure that I got from my local supermarket. I think it was around, I don't know, $15 if I were to exchange it, but I've repainted it fully because it lacked a lot of detail, as you can imagine from a figure this cheap. Articulation is basically nowhere. You've got the hips there, elbows, a swivel. Oh no, actually it's a proper T-joint in the shoulders, and the head is on the ball joint. So yeah, but I'm really happy with the paint job on it, with the details I was able to get. I even actually no, I think that might have been on there from the start, but still, I'm happy with it. I even gave him a guitar strap. Am I going to use him for a stop motion? No, not this figure exactly, but I still wanted him for my collection because, you know, rock on. So yeah, there he goes. Next up is Moon Knight. Again, this is the third figure of Moon Knight that I have, and that's pretty much all I needed, because now I have Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, and this Knight, which is also Moon Knight. But as you can notice, if you can notice, I think you should be able to notice, he's got blood on him, even on the chest a bit, mostly on the hands though, and the knees. But this is a more brutal Mr. Moon Knight, in my opinion. Even the mask here, I've inspired it on a particular piece of artwork from Jeff Lemire's run, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to put it on the screen around here, I think, so that you can see the inspiration. He's got one eye that's human and one that's blue, so that's basically more Moon Knight. The cape is ripped and is actually shorter to helping with combat. I just really like how I turned this. This was the old Moon Knight before I bought the Disney Plus one, but I really like this one, and I'm glad I repurposed it. Next up is Batman without a cape, because the cape glued itself to my desk. You can see actually the spots where it was glued. I made this from the old Martian Manhunter body because I didn't really need an animated Batman, and God, the cape is sticky. I'm going to put it to the side. I'm pretty happy with this one. The head is a bit blobby, but it's alright. Articulation, nothing to write home about, but it's okay. It's pretty much serviceable. Let me put the cape back on so that it looks more like Batman. Yeah, there we go. I'm not that happy with this guy anymore. Well, actually, screw that. I am happy with this guy, but this cape kills me. I might actually throw it out and just make him another one out of plastic or some kind of material, because I hate how sticky this is. Look, I do not have spider powers. I actually just threw the cape away. So yeah. This is Jade, the new figure for Jade, anyways. Made from the Bandai Diamond Head figure, as I am upscaling every Ben 10 figure that I have, or every Ben 10 figure that I need for the specific movie I'm working on. I gave her, you can see what I gave her actually, and I've improved. This is the red line, you can see it runs over here. It used to be just a straight line only on the front. This looks more like, I think, a jumpsuit, so maybe I MCU-ified Jade. I gave her lipstick, but yeah, she should be alright next to Bubo. Here is Rouge the Bat for comparison, so height is pretty okay. And then I pretty much restored this figure of Forearms that my dad found in my backyard, as he really insisted on mentioning on my Instagram post about this guy, because Epic Frame Studios does have an Instagram. A link might be in the description if I don't forget about it. But yeah, I've restored this guy. Paint wise, articulation, I didn't have to do anything. but I did have to give him this head from a bigger, like a proper 6-inch forearms, and it's a bit big. You can notice that it's not from this figure, but it looks okay, and I'm really happy with the paint job. Forearms is one of my favorite Ben 10 aliens, and I'm glad to have him, especially in this form. So yeah. Next up is a figure I made all the way back in April or March. I don't know, but I just got a PS4. Basically, a friend is letting me use his PS4 while we're at university, because he doesn't have anywhere to play with it. But I do, so he gave me his PlayStation and his games, and I played God of War. So here's Kratos, or Kratos. Kratos is actually in the name, the pronunciation in the game, but I think Kratos sounds meaner. He's made using the old Hulk body that you saw in the Sentinels movies. So the proportions are not there. He's much more square, much more buff than in the game, but it's okay. I mean, the sculpt is something I'm relatively proud of with this guy. Mostly I'm happy with how the tattoos turned out, because they were a bit hard to figure out. But overall I'm happy, especially with the texture here and with his beard. Articulation is just the same as Hulk, even more restricted actually because of all the sculpting. But yeah, pretty happy with this guy. Next up is the third iteration of the blue and gray suit. This is Batman. This is made using like a bland male body that I found surprisingly in a sort of second-hand store here in the city where I'm at uni, and this was a pain in the ass to make. You'll see in the documentary about Toil and Word that were the issues I've had making this suit of Batman, not only on this figure, but he's got decently good articulation actually. It kind of reminds me of Mafex with the double balls here, except one of them is kind of tight right now, but decent crunch. Paint job is a bit of an issue, and also his head doesn't really stay on. For now, I'm going to fix that a bit later actually, because I've bought things to fix things on my figures. I'm happy with the cape, I'm happy with the proportions, I'm happy with the articulation. I'm overall happy with this figure, and this is the figure I will be using for Toyland War on Earth. This is the new Alan figure. I've made him using the legs from a Nightwing attempt I've had and my old Raimi custom. You can still kind of see the red there, and oh, it's scuffed. Great. I'm going to have to repaint him. The articulation is much better than the old Alan figure. The head is a bit big. That is a thing, but I also don't think he would be Alan without that face, and I don't have the skills to replicate that face. He stands quite decently. I love the sculpt that I managed to get on him, and comparatively to the old Alan, he's about the same height actually, a bit taller if you count the cap, but proportionally he's much better. I mean, this was pretty goofy, and it is just movies with toys, but I really like this figure, and I can't wait to use him. The articulation is great too. Look at that. That's pretty much the main thing I wanted to improve with Alan, his articulation, because he does a lot more in the new movie. I'm going to try not to talk too much about the new movie, but I am going to spoil you on a thing. Well, actually, it's not a spoiler. He appeared in the teaser. This is Nightwing. He's made using the torso from the old Nightwing and the legs from the old Raimi Spidey. Sculpt is made, apart from the head, sculpt here is made entirely using cardboard, and I'm pretty happy with it. Not much on the back, but his costume is pretty simplistic. Articulation is good. Oh, I lied about the cardboard. I had to pump his ass because he's Nightwing. He's famously known for having great glutes. His set isn't the best. It's pretty much at my level of sculpting faces, but it will do. I'm happy with this guy, and I'm happy he can make his debut in my his first appearance in my movies. Wow, my English is really not Englishing today. Next up is another one in my series of aliens that I'm making into 6-inch. Actually, the first one that I both made and show on this video. Diamond Head, mainly inspired by his UAF appearance. He's got a little scuff there. That's from falling over once. But I'm pretty happy with the texture I gave him here on the... I don't even know what texture that's supposed to be in the show. So I gave him a kind of rocky texture. I'm happy with the color for the diamond. Of course, the original is different, but this is good too. I like it. The sculpt is also good. I like it. Articulation is decent. He's made using the old Harley Quinn figure, like the old concept, not the actual one I ended up using in Shantae Season 3. But yeah, happy with this guy. He's quite hefty too. Next up is Alfred Pennyworth. He's made using a combination of Freddy parts, Jason parts, I mean Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, in case you didn't realize, and the old Alfred head, the old reliable. And you can tell here that this is just the Mr. Knight piece glued on, but he will mostly stay like this, so it looks okay. He has a bit of a hunch, a bit much of a hunch, but he's okay. Next to Batman, he's a bit, no, actually, he's a tiny fraction shorter. So yeah, I was about to say that he's a bit taller than Batman, but I remembered incorrectly. Then we have a figure that I have not modified. I've just bought because I had to. The new Marvel Legends Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man is one of my favorite Spidey runs of all time. So I had to get the new extremely comic accurate figure. Look at it. Compared to the old one, it's just night and day. So I had to get him. Close. Great figure, great figure. I love it. I'm not going to change anything about it, I think, ever. Love it. Great job, Hasbro. Just keep doing this, and you might actually be a goated company. Next up is Eon, or Aeon, however you want to call him, from Final Fantasy Sonic X, which is a fan-made flash game of Sonic and other characters from games that I haven't played. This was an OC, and the internet doesn't feel good about Sonic OCs, mostly because they're all cringe and overly powerful or overly sexual even, but this isn't any better, I think. No disrespect to whoever made the games, but I never really liked Aeon in those games as a character, and both as a boss fight, because I managed to never beat him somehow. So yeah, I took some liberties with the design, with the cannon, with the shoes, with the hairstyle, spike style, but I really like how he turned out. He was made from a silver figure that I bought last year as well, but I have a bit more of a connection to Eon than I have to silver. Now that I think about it, silver isn't given much as a character apart from Sonic 06. So yeah, I like this figure, and I can't wait to use it for movies. Wink wink. Next up we have Gwen Tennyson. Let me just... There we go, I'm getting better at this camera thing. This is Gwen. She's made from the old Disney Plus Hawkeye Hailee Steinfeld body, but I shortened her up, as you can see here on the thighs. So she actually scales quite decently. She was like a head taller before the shortening. I made my own design for a teenage Gwen because the UAF one wouldn't have really worked articulation wise with the skirt. I could have made it work, but also I think this screams Gwen more. Uh, you might be able to tell that this is the cat that she used to have on her 10-year-old t-shirt. She's got the short ponytail, the red head, the green eyes. The face is pretty decent. I think I used the Kamala Khan head as a base, but I took her hair off. Yeah, pretty happy with this. Articulation is good, so she will be able to take part in fights. As you can remember, the old Gwen figure was incredibly hard to stand, and of course, because it was a Bandai Benten figure, it didn't have much articulation. Next up, we have probably my favorite of the aliens I've done so far, Heat Blast. Oh, he looks good in this lining. He's made using an old Human Torch from the first Fantastic Four movie, or maybe the second, I don't know. Sculpted all over, repainted, all the nice stuff. I'm really happy with it. Articulation is amazing. Yes, Toy Biz did have these hips, which I do hate. I don't think they look good. I don't think they work well. But the articulation is there, and it is amazing. It still works even with all the sculpting. Standing him up is a bit tricky. Maybe due to his age. That might be the thing. But he's got articulated fingers, which, if you ask me, is not the way to go. I like interchangeable hands much more, because these are flimsy and can't really get into all the poses. But this is still good, because he's got the necessary articulation to make a hand ready to blow fire. So yeah, happy with this guy, love him. I love the dry brushing I did with the yellow over the translucent orange, so it gives a little bit more texture when he's not behind the light, you know, as he is now. Wow. Next up we have Ben's rival and friend. This is Kevin. Again, new design. I gave him a very metal, very black outfit with his mechanic jacket, but with the sleeves ripped. I dry brushed some gray here to give more texture, ripped jeans because he's a metalhead in my universe, long hair of course. You can see he's quite muscular, but I like this design for Kevin. I like this figure, it's got decent articulation, less articulated than Gwen, but he will do, that's enough articulation. He's made using the old Molten Man figure, who had a problem standing, but it's not really an issue for Kevin. I have him angled a bit back. But yeah, he stands just fine, so you can't wait to use this guy. I also had to buy a new Spider-Man figure, because I used the old Superior body for $29.99, and it wasn't really that good anyway, the paint was starting to chip, so I bought this. This is a bootleg. I have to be honest with you guys, this is a bootleg, and you can tell in some aspects, but it's still really good. It still has its figuarts articulation. It's based on the first PS4 Spidey game. I gave it a quick repaint just to clean up the paint wherever it needed, and I quite like it. Of course, still with the spectacular Spider-Man head, because I miss my boy. And yeah, articulation is great. This is going to be a good figure, and I can't wait to use it in Toyland and in future projects, if he doesn't die. Will Spider-Man die? You'll have to watch. And look at these. These are Lego minifigures. This is Spidey. I gave him the red boots and the red stripes on the hands. New eyes, because the face kind of brushed off. But in the rest, it's pretty untouched. If I ever do a Spider-Verse project, which I am debating doing, I have a lot of projects and ideas in mind, I just have to feed them into the universe, but he will definitely be there. I also have Batman with the gold thing around the bat symbol, which I think I inspired from the new 52 reboot or the Rebirth reboot. I'm not sure. This is weird like that. He's also got Robin. The cape is a little funky, and he's a blonde for some reason. But yeah, all of these three I made when I was a kid, and they just stayed like this. Why are they in the 2024 collection? Is because that's when I reconnected with them. That's when I found them again, so I brought them into my collection back. But zooming back out, we have a character that you don't know yet, and you won't know for a bit, but this is Drillo, and I will tell you as much as I can. He is a young sorcerer, and he is an armadillo, anthropomorphic armadillo, that is. That's all I can say. He's made using the old Bruce Wayne figure from Batman Begins, if I'm not mistaken, with a custom sculpted head and other stuff. This is soft goods, as people like to call them, made from old something. He's got those. Yeah, he will be important and is a character that I'm excited about. I have pretty much his whole story planned. I just have to make the movies, and I love it when it is like that. I've also bought this. I believe this is SH Figuarts Hulk, but he came with a defect. As you can see, his leg is not good. So I'm still working on repairing it. Right now I have it hot glued in there, just so that he's more stable, because he falls off really easily. He's quite big, as you can see. Let's compare him to a normal figure. Let's take Kevin. Yeah, that's Hulk. He works much better than the old Hulk figure, and we actually can compare them, because here is Kratos. Yeah, better. He will be a good addition, seeing as how now Bruce will be aged up. The figure is not new, but I will show it just for comparison's sakes. There we go. This is the new Bruce. Keeping in line with Bruce actually being a Ben 10 figure, he is the first figure I customized after making this channel. He used to be Ben, and then he was Triro, and now he is Bruce. This is the old Bruce figure, so he grew up. So Hulk also had to grow up. Let's put him to the side. Actually, let's put him here so that I can repair him. Who should I repair next? Batman. He also needs repairing, yeah. We have two more figures remaining, and my camera is going crazy. It's really unstable, this thing. Wow. This is the Ben 10 figure. Finally, I've made his whole team, but him. This is made out of those cheap 3D printed figures that you assemble yourselves, that you see everywhere on TikTok, I guess, Instagram, Reels, wherever. They're really popping off on AliExpress, on Temu, on wherever. I've even found them on Amazon. So I bought one to see how it is. Pretty well articulated, a bit flimsy. I mean, this pops up really easy, pops in just as well. So I've customized him. I'm happy with the face, with the sculpt, with everything. He is well articulated, apart from this knee, which broke, so I had to glue it. But he will be a good Ben 10. He can finally get into this pose, which leads, of course, into... Oh, you can see what I mean when I say flimsy. But he is easily reassemblable. Yeah. With a bit of brute force, he can get into the iconic pose of him hitting his Omnitrix. So I can't wait to work with him in the movie. And the final figure for today is this big thing. This is Forearms, a custom. He's not as bulky as Forearms is in the cartoon. I mean, you can see he's more built and more square. For some reason, square means power in design language. It's a fact, but it's still funny. The articulation is there. He was made using what remained from Alfred here. Or actually, I think I made this guy first and then Alfred. But still, I'm happy, really happy actually, with the head sculpt and the head paint. Or with the paint overall. I gave him the tattoos from Heroes United because I don't like the armor he wears or whatever in UIF, so I had to give him more details to be visually interesting. But yeah, I'm happy with this guy. Articulation is good, and he will serve well in his role in the movie. And this is it. This has been the collection recap for the year 2024. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will stick with this channel. And I can't wait to see what 2025 has in offer figures wise. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.